Right. Good morning from Hellfire Pass. We've travelled today an hour northwest from Kanchanaburi, following the remnants of the railway, and this was the most difficult and infamous part of the line, Hellfire Pass. To give you a bit of context, these rocks up here, obviously in a modern day project, they would get people from the other end and this end and start cutting through a tunnel and meet in the middle. But unfortunately for the POWs and the enforced workers, the Japanese did not care for life, so they just started by getting people on the top of the rocks right the way through this cutting and hammering down with sledgehammers and drills, as in the manual drills that you hit. Each worker took 100 hits on the hammer and then swapped over. The conditions were appalling. 600 Allied prisoners of war, many thousands of, I think they're called ramushas, the enforced civilian labourers from Thailand, Burma, wherever. They were allowed 370 grams of rice a day, whatever water they could carry, and they were expected to move at least 3 cubic meters of rock by hand. 18-hour shifts, sleep when you could. Such was the brutality of the Japanese. This particular section to be cut out, the most feared word was speedo, as in get a move on. And during the 6 weeks it took to cut through this piece of rock, 69 people were just beaten to death because then there was the standard cholera, pellagra, beriberi, dysentery, malnutrition. So this was largely overgrown after the Second World War. It wasn't until a gallant Aussie, name of Tom Morris, an ex-POW from this line, came back to visit, and when he saw the state of the place, he started a project to get the cooperation of the Thai and Australian governments to preserve this place. Bless him. And long story short, by 1999 the place was open. Many thanks, Tom Morris. All the way along there are little flags and reminders where people have visited and left their own sign. But even today, it's unimaginable what they went through. It is naive of me to say it is gasping hot here today. Ooh, I'm really suffering. Not a patch on it. Can you imagine back in the day with the elements I've just mentioned, cutting through the solid rock by hand, named Hellfire Pass because looking from the top downwards into the pit, obviously they worked through the night. The bamboo torches with flames to guide them through the dark night looked like it was a vision of hell, hence Hellfire Pass. But this is today, 2024. Tourists like me get to come. This place is free. Audio equipment's available. Each point of interest has its own story, with the survivors telling their side of it. They do not make them like that anymore. This is the actual Hellfire Pass Memorial. So I'll take a photograph of that for the post that comes with it. as with anywhere nowadays, it's no one's fault. It's just the way it is. Some tourists on steps, not really showing any appreciation of what's gone on here. It's just a day out for them. I get it. At least they've been. Fair play to them. This is a view over what would have been bridged back in the day, and the line continues down there. Today we're not going that far because there is a bushfire down there, and you can smell it in the air now. If we wanted to go any further, they offered to give us radios and to come and get us if there's any problems, but we decided not to be those tourists that were being rescued from a bushfire. And to be honest, I'm sure you guys have got the idea by now. So anyway, Hellfire Pass, probably the worst part of the line in all its 258 miles. I'm going to mispronounce where the line ends. It ends in Burma, ended in Burma, Thai and Buzayat or something very similar. Apologies my pronunciation. Yeah. So there you go, Hellfire Pass. Promise normal service will be resumed for tourism, holiday, happy stuff. But this and what happened here cannot be ignored, in my opinion. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you'll probably know why we arrived and put the effort in. On a lighter note, the guy we bumped into in town, we hired him once for a grab journey. That's the equivalent of Uber out here, Mr. Noom. Since then we've hired him for today. We're coming here, then a bit more touristy to Erawan waterfalls, back to Kanchanaburi, and in a few days time we are going back to Bangkok with him. So he's a local lad charging the appropriate rate, and let's work this out. For a full day out with Mr. Noom, let's have a think, 44.5 baht to the pound. So he's charging us 2,200 baht for the entire day. Yeah, bless him. We're taking him to lunch. But yeah, anyway, Hellfire Pass. I'll sign off. See you all soon.